Hi, I'm Susie from Out West Homestead. Thanks for coming by. Today, I want to talk about I got tagged. I got tagged by Susan, and she's at the Blissful Acres Off-Grid Homestead. And I'll put a link up to her channel. Uh, she wants me to talk about three that I learned in 2019 growing season. So what I learned is I still have to fight against the wind, the water, and sun. Every year I have to fight against that, learn about it, and try to be better. And Susan's like that too. She lives in the desert. Hope y'all go check her channel out. And the things I talk about is about what she talks about. We're always fighting the wind. And I do got a lot of wind breaks up. And this summer we had 4 fair rains. It wasn't like the pour down or anything. They were good enough though. And the water system Bill made, it does help our food forest a lot. So if we get a little bit of water, it still pours into the food forest how he has it fixed. So that's good. And the sun, it hurt a lot of my plants. It didn't hurt the plants that had shade, but the sun is hard. Our temperature was 110 in the shade, but I don't know what it was out in full sun. So when the plants are out in full sun, it really hurts them. In the evening when the sun goes down, they kind of revive some, but every day most of them wilted. And plus I had to die off probably about 6 chickens this summer because of the heat. It was so hot. But I just want to talk about my garden. And the things we grow, it's all like experiment. There's some things that don't grow here. I can grow one type of cucumber that thrives. But the other cucumbers I tried, they don't do too good. But it's all a big experiment when you grow in the desert. You know, you have to learn all this stuff. When I was back in Oklahoma, I could grow anything. You know, it was just so easy to grow. But here, it's hard to grow. It's hard to figure out what to grow. The bugs get the plants. And then some bugs don't even bother plants. Cantaloupe bugs will get them. I can't remember all. There's certain plants that bugs just eat them up. But I'm trying to learn more about how to grow and find seeds of the Southwest. There is places that do sell seeds that Indians grew stuff, or in Mexico they grow stuff. And eventually I like to head that way, you know, getting seeds built up, stuff that will grow out in this environment. But it's doing pretty good. And even my sunchokes, they're back east plant, and they thrive. As long as they can get some water, they'll thrive. And they take the heat good, and they make a windbreak, and they cool the garden. When the sunchokes are nice and thick, the air comes through there, and it's cool. You can put on the edge of the sunchokes, you can put your hand down there, and you can feel the cool air come through there. So that helps cool the gardens. So I just want to say it's always about the wind, the water, and the sun. always fighting that. The wind, I got windbreaks. It just, the wind, even in the shade, if the wind's too hard, it'll burn your plants. So I have to make wind block, for that. But that's the main stuff that you have to worry about in the desert. Is a hot wind. If it's 110 degrees and the wind is blowing, it melts everything. It gets so hot. So I think my food forest is probably 6 years old, and so all this time I've been growing willows and just trying to make wind walls, and to be able to grow my food forest, and it does pretty good. What hurts it the most is not having enough water, and we don't want to supply our water too much because it's on the well, and we try to keep our bill down to $100 a month in the summer, and so we figure out how to put leaves on the soil and cover it that way, keep the gardens cool and more moist if we keep packing leaves to it. That way we don't have to water too much. But that's about it, Susan tagged me talk about the what was that? The 3 things we learned in 2019, which is we got to do better. Bill's not real happy with my production, but it's getting there. The soil is getting better. It was just a real hard time this year, and we planted late because the spring was so cold, and I got a lot of plants in late. But so next year, I'm just going to keep trying again and see what happens. I enjoy it. I look forward to it. And no matter what, I just love growing the food forest. So thanks a lot for coming by and listening to me. And talk to you later. Bye.